Oh, Baby Boks are champions again, the first time in 13 years that they've won the Under-20s World Cup. Before we get into the game itself and some of the stars that we've seen there and the fantastic tries scored, so 23-15 win. Their captain, Riley Norton, last year was still playing under-19 cricket for South Africa. Now captaining the Baby Boks to a victory. Who was the last player that could have done something like that? Herschel Gibbs,
Herschel
maybe?
Gibbs, maybe.
Yeah.
Conrad Yankees.
Oh, yeah, Connie, I forget.
Connie did both.
Yeah. Connie played SA schools cricket, rugby, and soccer.
And football, yeah.
And some people make bad decisions. He could have gone to Chelsea. He decided to stay and play for the Lions.
No, he loved his rugby. That also means he should have been playing for Chelsea.
Didn't he go for trials at Chelsea or?
Yeah. That's impressive. But I loved the performance most of all.
No, it was great.
20s. It was like Bok DNA through and through.
Yeah.
Kevin Foot.
Yeah, well done to Footy. He's done.
Yeah, the new coach.
Yeah. But I tell you what, though, they ripped through this tournament. If you think about it,
They did.
70
against Australia.
And then also Scotland, they got
50 or 60 odd.
Yeah, they've thrashed
Argentina
everyone.
48-24 in the semi-final.
I mean, there's some stat that they scored 50 points more than any other team. 50 points more than any other team. And you talk about South African rugby, you talk about the maul, the scrum. But I mean, this team here can attack properly.
We'll look at the highlights now of the game, but just a couple of individuals. Hashim Pitt, the box scrum off. He's been compared to Antoine Dupont now, and in fact broke his 9-year record for most meters by a scrum off in this tournament. I mean, that's a proper stat to have against a guy that's done relatively well on the international
He's
circuit.
like a Grant Williams type of lookalike. He's got some proper gas. You know, they run that cheat line on the inside, but also have a go. Have a go. He scored the try of the season, I think. Against England, like a cracker from his own 22.
But so many proper, really exciting players. I think the state that South African rugby is in currently, the fact that we are on top from a seniors team point of view, but having these youngsters in the pipeline is incredible.
Yeah, Jean, it's what happens next. This is a nice stepping stone. We've all been there. We think you guys won it at Loftus. We won it in Argentina. It's what happens next, because there will be a fallout from not every one of those players are going to go through to the next level. So there's got to be a plan. I think there's a plan from SA Rugby side, a pathway. I mean, if Pete, I think he's at the Lions. If he's going to sit there and be third choice scrum off behind, then let the guy go to another union or learn him out where he's going to play and be seen. Because the worst thing that can happen to some of these players is they just disappear. Next thing you hear, the guy's gone to Japan or gone overseas somewhere. So the development plan and how it's going to work. You look at Hlakani's already played a bit of URC. Riley, actually, funny enough, all these guys should be in Currie Cup squads now when they come back.
I was about to say, like, you don't put them back into under-20s. Yes, sure, some of them will be. But like Currie Cup now is a development competition by all accounts. Lovely, that from New Zealand.
It was a nice little move.
Lovely little move. But yeah, you've got to get them to play, because I think the youth nowadays play too little rugby. If we were younger, we were playing the bulk of under 90s and 20s club rugby.
Yeah.
A lot of these players now play 6 games a year, maybe. Maybe this is the big thing. It's not enough. You've got to develop players by playing them. And Currie Cup, I think, is the right time for them to play some senior rugby, because often from under 20s to get to, it's hard to do the senior rugby. There's a step up. This was the red card. Harsh, but only 20 minutes. And in the same time of that 20 minutes, red card, South Africa, a yellow card. So it didn't affect the game much.
This was 10 minutes more. But again, some similarities in the 2023 World Cup with Sam Cane also going off red card. So some similarities there. But Scully, you mentioned the Bok DNA also coming through here. 2 minutes into the game, maul try.
Right.
The scrum was strong, really good in the air as well. But then there's the element of the excitement of that back three and the back line, I think, as a whole, and the ability to attack as well.
Yeah, I think it's Malusi who was doing the attack, and he's actually he coached with Franco, if I'm not mistaken, at Currie Cup level, did well with Grecos when they were doing, coached the attack there. So he's got a good pedigree. We just haven't seen a lot of him, and given talent like us, You saw the coaching come through along with Kevin Foote. I think Ackerman did well with the pack. They also, because last year I remember commentating. These guys were getting scrummed by Italy, mauled by Italy. Couldn't stop them all.
I remember
at Paul Gym when they lost that game. And
in the rain.
Yeah, in the improvement now.
I mean, 4 months ago, they were losing.
And the improvement that's worked there. But for me, I'm more interested to see that these guys come through and you see them playing URC next year and actually coming through. Otherwise, if Hlekani is going to go back to under 21 rugby now, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? He's too good for that. Pete, we've seen enough. I mean, we know a lot of. I knew him as a schoolboy player.
Like I reckon you can play across whatever, you know. Like you can play, if there's a game for you on the weekend under 20s, you play under 20s.
Yeah.
If the Currie Cup takes preference over the under 20s, go play both. Like we all did it. I mean, play 3 teams in a year.
Yeah.
But they've got their best path to their development.
We are.
Great boot, big boot, kicked well the whole tournament is by playing, getting minutes. So you can't protect rugby players. I mean, that's done. You've got to put in the hours now to become a better rugby player. Riley Norton, workhorse, like on the weekend, led the tackle stats. But there's so many players with X factor.
I mean, that one wing, is it the right wing?
Jooste.
Yeah.
Jooste and
How
Williams.
quick, how quick is he?
No, but I mean, the whole back three. And that's what I like about it, because you go back in history and you know, the stats will tell you winning and being successful at under 20 and under 21 level, those players, a big portion of those players goes through to represent the Springboks.
Yeah.
And then they form the nucleus of the teams that have won in 07, in 2019, in 2023.
You've got to ask yourself, you're like, it was 13 years for us to get the blueprint right. You know, if you think, always go on about our school rugby and, you know, how well we do at school and best schoolboy rugby league in the world. But like, surely from there, we can't win it every 13 years. You know,
if 2 years later, can't be, you know, losing to Italy or whatever it is. This is the standard now, and it's got to be consistent, and we've got to maintain it. We saw the French all of a sudden start dominating. England came in with a good run, and you can see some of these kids. I mean, the Tommy Freemans of this world, all those guys coming through.
It was a Southern Hemisphere lockout. It's almost like a senior World Cup with Argentina beating France. I think that
it was a nice try as well.
Play. This was good.
The vision, the execution,
I like that,
and the pace.
The 2 Bishops boys combining.
The fullback also Bishop's boy.
He was at Red Pops. I used to watch him as a kid under 12, under 13. He was talented then, but it's good to see him coming through.
Well, it's amazing from a Bishop's point of view. You have these kids, and you have a Sasha, you have like all the other guys in the Stormer setup, youngsters coming through. It was a good generation for them.
Yeah.
It was also quite a stress-free watch. Often these games have a lot of drama, but the Boks were just too good on the day. They always were in control of this match. So,
but I tell you what, we've also had the SA Schools team and the players you've got there also. Yeah. It's a good team. It's a very good team that SA Schools team this year.
Like we take the old Chris Norton, Norton's dad, celebrating like only he can.
He's still celebrating apparently. He hasn't stopped.
That's nice.
The best feeling, boy.
You know, we talk about success and the successes that we've had at the Boks, but to have a pipeline like this, to have a really strong schools team, to have a really strong under 20s team, I mean, it bodes well for the future of South African rugby. Not just at the top, but also what's coming through.
Yeah.
You also think 2027, is there any of those players that can maybe put their hands up? You know, I know the Boks squad's strong, but there's some aging players. There's 1 or 2 maybe of our positions you think, where are we got aging players, maybe number 9?
Yeah.
You think, can you get a Hashim Pete in there? I don't know, like only time will tell, but there is definitely a pathway for these players who win a World Cup. Your name's already got like a bit of a tick next to it.
Yeah. But I think the opportunity is so nice. Obviously, with us selecting players overseas and other guys, for example, Amani now he's gone to Japan, opens up a gap for another fly half. You know, you've got Jean-Luc Duplessis, obviously Sasha's there, maybe a third guy who comes in outside of him. You know, there are injuries along the way. You know, there's 1 or 2 guys that might leave or retire. But if these guys are doing well here and you give them a chance, Currie Cup, and then it ticks on to URC, and it happens that quickly with Investec Champions Cup, with this 10-month long season and the rotation coming, it can happen a lot quicker. Now, it can happen a lot quicker.
And you can be wherever in the world and get called. Like
Makaza went from Varsity Cup to alignment camp.
Yeah, Juan Venter.
Yeah, exactly.
Juan Venter went overseas.
It could happen to anybody.